Why some people manifest and others don't. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to attract opportunities, success, wealth, and meaningful relationships almost effortlessly, while others spend years trying to manifest their dream life and never seem to get anywhere? Maybe you've tried affirmations. Maybe you've written down your goals. Maybe you've visualized your future hundreds of times, and yet nothing changed. Eventually, you begin to wonder if manifestation is even real. But what if the problem isn't manifestation? What if the problem is that most people have been taught manifestation incorrectly? Because the truth is, you don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. And until you understand that, you'll continue chasing results that seem to move further away, no matter how hard you try. Most people believe manifestation begins with thoughts, but manifestation begins much deeper than that. It begins with identity. Think about it. Every single person has an internal story. A story about who they are. A story about what they're capable of. A story about what they deserve. And whether that story is true or false doesn't matter. What matters is that they believe it. Someone who believes they are capable moves through life differently than someone who believes they aren't. Someone who believes they deserve success notices opportunities that other people overlook. Someone who believes they are worthy of love carries themselves differently than someone who constantly doubts themselves. The outside world may see two people, but internally they are living in completely different realities. And that's where manifestation begins. Not in your circumstances, not in your bank account, not in your possessions, but within your consciousness. This is where many people get manifestation completely wrong. They believe it's about what they do. But manifestation is less about what you do and more about who is doing it. A person can help someone in need and still carry resentment inside. A person can donate money and secretly crave validation. A person can appear kind, generous, and positive on the outside while constantly judging, criticizing, and doubting themselves on the inside. The universe doesn't respond to the performance, it responds to the state behind the performance. Because your thoughts are not separate from your reality, your assumptions are not separate from your reality, your beliefs are not separate from your reality. Everything begins within. This is why two people can perform the exact same action and experience completely different outcomes. One acts from abundance, the other acts from scarcity. One acts from confidence, the other acts from fear. Externally, they appear identical. Internally, they are operating from entirely different frequencies. And the internal world is always creating the external world. This is why embodiment is so important. Embodiment is one of the most misunderstood concepts in spirituality. People think manifestation is about visualizing a future version of themselves. But manifestation isn't about imagining that person, it's about becoming that person, right now. Ask yourself this. How would the version of you who already has everything you desire think? How would they speak? How would they respond to challenges? How would they spend their mornings? How would they treat other people? How would they treat themselves? Most people are waiting for success before they embody success. Waiting for confidence before they embody confidence. Waiting for abundance before they embody abundance. Waiting for love before they embody love. But manifestation works in reverse. You embody first, reality follows. Think about a seed. The tree doesn't appear overnight.
First, the seed becomes what it was always meant to become. Then the growth becomes visible. The same is true for your life. The transformation always happens internally before it becomes visible externally. The problem is that most people are obsessed with external evidence. They constantly look around asking, "Is it working yet? Where is my manifestation? Why hasn't anything changed?" And because they don't see immediate results, they return to doubt. But doubt itself becomes part of the reality they create, because every thought reinforces an identity. Every thought is a vote. Every time you say, "I'm unlucky," that's a vote. Every time you say, "I never get opportunities," that's a vote. Every time you say, "People like me never succeed," that's a vote. And after enough votes, your identity wins the election. You begin acting in alignment with those beliefs without even realizing it. Your reality then reflects those beliefs back to you. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because reality acts like a mirror. It reflects what you consistently embody. This is why awareness is the first step toward
Transformation. You must become aware of the thoughts you've been entertaining, the stories you've been repeating, the assumptions you've accepted as truth. Many of them were never yours to begin with. Some came from parents, some came from teachers, some came from society. Some came from painful experiences that convinced you to see yourself a certain way. But a belief is not a fact. It is simply a thought repeated so many times that it begins to feel real. And once you realize that, everything changes. Because if beliefs can be learned, they can also be unlearned. If identities can be created, they can also be recreated. The question becomes, who are you becoming? Because whether you realize it or not, you're always becoming someone. Every habit is shaping you. Every thought is shaping you. Every reaction is shaping you. Every decision is shaping you. The future version of yourself is being built right now. Not someday, not next year, not when your manifestation arrives. Right now, this very moment. That's why action matters. Not because action magically creates manifestations, but because action reinforces identity. When you act like someone who values themselves, you strengthen that identity. When you act like someone who believes in their future, you strengthen that identity. When you act with discipline, courage, patience, and faith, you strengthen that identity. Eventually, the identity becomes so strong that your reality begins organizing around it. People call it luck. People call it coincidence. People call it perfect timing. But what they're really witnessing is alignment. The external world catching up with the internal world. And perhaps that's the biggest secret of manifestation. Manifestation was never about forcing the universe to give you something. It was never about begging reality to change. It was never about repeating affirmations while secretly remaining the same person. Manifestation is about transformation. It is about becoming. Becoming the version of yourself who naturally attracts the life you desire. Because the universe isn't asking what you want. The universe is asking who you are. Not who you pretend to be, not who you appear to be, not who you post online. Who are you when you're alone with your thoughts? Who are you when nobody is watching? Who are you when life becomes difficult? Because that's the frequency you're truly living in, and that's the frequency your reality responds to. So stop asking when your manifestation will arrive. Instead,
Ask yourself a different question. Who must I become? Because the moment you fully embody the person capable of living that reality, the reality has no choice but to begin moving toward you. And that is why some people manifest and others don't.